persons or we hear about the disability rights, the first thing that comes in our mind is what actually the disability is. So it is any condition of the body or mind that makes it difficult for a person with the condition to do certain activities and interact with the world around them. And right, as a student of law, we all are well aware of it, that legal right is an interest that is accepted and protected by law. So, disability rights refers to the inherent rights and freedoms entitled to individuals, encompassing the right to equal treatment, non-discrimination, autonomy, and full participation in all aspects of life and society. There are many types of disabilities such as vision, hearing, thinking, learning, movement, mental health, remembering, communicating, social relationships. Persons with disabilities are seen sympathetically in need of medical help or charity instead of worthy empowerment. Disability is a stigma in Pakistan and cultural norms are hindrance to an inclusion. A person with disability may be perceived as suffering from an affliction from God. The family can often retreat into a state of shame, fearing that they have been punished for some misdeeds of their or test of their faith. This stigma is so potent that families can resort to hiding their children. And for women, the discrimination is double. It is said that the only thing tougher than being a girl in Pakistan is being a girl with disability. They have limited access to education, employment, and sometimes they may face difficulty in finding their life partners.
I can understand today where we are today in terms of disability rights. Let's take back and look at the historical evolution. The history of disability rights is marked by a journey from exclusion and paternalism to recognition and empowerment. Throughout much of history, individuals with disabilities were segregated, institutionalized, and denied basic rights and opportunities. The disability rights movement gained momentum in the 20th century, fueled by the civil rights movements and the push for equality and social justice. For example, a common barrier that individuals with disabilities face deals with employment. Next comes the principles of disability rights. Disability rights are guided by seven core principles. Number one, equality, ensuring equal opportunities and treatment for individuals with disabilities. Number two, accessibility, creating environments, products, and services that are accessible to people of all abilities. Number three, inclusion, fostering a society where individuals with disabilities are actively included and valued. Number four, autonomy and dignity, respecting the rights and agencies of individuals with disabilities to make choices and live independently with dignity.
Critical component of disability rights is the legal framework that protects and promotes these rights. So the number one is Disabled Persons Employment and Rehabilitation Ordinance 1981. This is the only law specifically targeted at persons with disabilities. It specifies that employers with 100 workers or more must ensure that at least 2% of their actual work consists of persons with disabilities. Implementation of this law has been weak. In 2018, the SIM Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities Act increased the employment quota from 2% to 5%. Under the Disabled Person Ordinance, the National Council for the Rehabilitation of Disabled Persons NCRDP and Provincial Council for the Rehabilitation of disabled persons, PCRDP, have been established with the objective to ensure and enhance the work of employment, welfare and rehabilitation of persons with disabilities.
Disability Rights Act 2022. The new Disability Rights Act, approved on 10th of January 2022, provides a comprehensive legal framework to protect and promote the rights of peoples with disabilities in Pakistan. Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. On a global scale, the United Nations has established the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, specifically discussing the indigenous people with disabilities. The CRPD and its optional protocol was adopted on 13th of December 2006 at the United Nations headquarters in New York and was opened for signature on 30th of March 2007. The CRPD, ratified by over 180 countries, sets forth comprehensive rights for persons with disabilities, including civil rights, political rights, economic rights, social rights.
The Convention of CRPD is given in the course book, Human Rights Law by Dr. Naeemullah Khan at page 334. The whole convention is given in this book.
In perspective of India, the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016 is the disability legislation passed by the Indian Parliament to fulfill its obligation to the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, which India ratified in 2007. In perspective of United Kingdom, in the United Kingdom, following extensive activism by people with disabilities over several decades, the Disability Discrimination Act 1995 was passed.
Despite progress, significant challenges persist for individuals with disabilities. These include physical barriers to accessibility such as transportation, limited access to education, employment, healthcare, and economic disparities resulting from systematic inequalities. Intersectional issues compound these challenges as marginalized communities disproportionately experience disability, discrimination, and lack of resources. Now, let's have a look at this video clip that encapsulates what we have discussed so far.
Also, this call to celebration. This is all so beautiful. All that I have known before was a land that seemed to be in turmoil, with families top, and I stopped here. How are you? I'm not sure. Am I looking?
We sent out the call because everyone is working. This is an invitation to the whole world.
I remember thinking after hearing the call, instead of seeing another way, we dismissed it and demanded our own way. And now the world feels even more distant and divided. How can so many countries, languages, and cultures come together in only one way? Is it simple?
يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم. We were raised to believe that we were scattered on this earth as nations and tribes, so we could learn from each other and find beauty in our differences.
I can see it. What unites us here in this moment is so much greater than what divides us. How can we make it last longer than just today?
With tolerance and respect, we can live together under one big home. In Arabic, Beit Shab is the Bedouin tent. Wherever it Understood? That is home. And when we call you here, we welcome you into our home.
So we gather here as one big tribe, and Earth is the tent we all live in.
Yes, and together we can stand up.
At the end, I would say that disability rights are fundamental to ensure equality and dignity of all individuals. While we have made significant strides, much work remains to address the persistent challenges faced by people with disabilities. Together, we can continue to advocate for a more inclusive and accessible society.
Thank you so much. Any question? Appreciate wonderful presentation.